Childhood is when you look up to anime heroes as role models. Adulthood is when you realize that the villains make more sense. Unfortunately, the vast majority of anime fans are mentally trapped in a perpetual state of childhood that makes them more easily susceptible to children's cartoons, so anime villains typically don't get the recognition they deserve. That's why I'm here, the anime shepherd, to guide you childish anime sheep into appreciating the greatest characters in all of anime. The top 10 anime villains of all time. Number 10. Greed, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. You would think that the physical embodiment of greed would just be a one-note, one-dimensional character, but you'd be damn wrong. Of the 7 homunculi serving the needs of the supervillain father, Greed is the only one who shows a sense of independence. Father's plan is to become immortal, and Greed intends to steal immortality from him. This is what makes Greed's character so much fun. Sometimes he's working with Father, sometimes he's working with the Elric brothers, sometimes a strange combination of both, but all along his only alliance is with himself. Greed becomes especially interesting when he takes over the body of a foreign prince named Ling Yao, but Ling's soul remains inside his body, and the two often battle for control. This literal internal struggle is not only entertaining in the shallowest sense of the word, but also delightfully reminiscent of the duality of man struggles that appear in art time and time again. Greed's constant ebbing and flowing from villain to anti-villain to anti-hero to villain again is one of my favorite elements of the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood series. But believe it or not, this embodiment of greed isn't even the greediest villain on this list. That honor goes to number 9. Number 9. Hillary Clinton, not the White House. Listen. I could go on and on about why Hillary Clinton is a huge anime villain all day. I could bring up the lies she told about her email server and how she pretended to be retarded when they confronted her about it.
That's all I could say. I'm not, I have no idea. That's why we turned it over. What, like with a cloth or something? Well, no. I don't know how it works digitally at all. I do not have any...
I could talk about how she lied about being under sniper fire so that she could receive pity. I could show an embarrassing clip of her trying to relate to teenagers 5 times in a row.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls. 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 Pokemon go to the polls.
I could mention, I don't know, how she knowingly cheated Bernie Sanders out of the Democratic nomination. I could discuss how she's an emotionless robotic slab of beef. I could mock her for being a literal cuckold who is still married to a cheating husband solely for political gain. But instead of talking about all that shit, I'd rather just play this clip.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the... No, 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 no. Oh, he tried it.
Number 8. God, Your Imagination. Thus far, I've reviewed 3 anime books about this character, and he's been evil as fuck in all of them. Call him what you will. Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh. It doesn't matter just as long as you don't call him late for dinner.
This joke brought to you by your grandfather, the guy who told dad jokes to your dad.
Once in a while, this God guy does some good shit, like how he thinks of women as second-class citizens to men. But most of the time, he's just a whiny, hypocritical faggot. All I do is make people suffer all day. Why don't they want to worship me? You fucking moron. I wish you were real so that you could kill yourself. Number 7. The Whoville Who's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. One of the most common misconceptions in all of anime is that the Grinch is the villain of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but that's just not true. Once you actually think about the story, you'll discover that the Grinch literally did nothing wrong. All he wanted to do was chill out on his big-ass mountain and watch anime all day, but his neighbors, the Who's, were being so fucking loud with their Christmas bullshit that he couldn't even sleep. Anybody who has ever had a loud neighbor knows that there is no worse evil in the entire world. So it's no wonder that the Grinch decided to—
Mumkey, stop. You're just ripping off Maddox.
What are you talking about?
Maddox already made a video about this exact same thing all the way back in 2014.
He did?
Number 6. Maddox, the biggest problem in the universe. Let me take you back to the good old days. No, not the 1850s. I'm talking 2014, the birth year of the Seinfeld of podcasts, one of the funniest shows to ever bless God's green earth, a little series I like to call The Biggest Problem in the Universe. What made the show so special was the explosive chemistry between the two hosts, Maddox and Dick Masterson. The premise of the show was simple. Each host would bring in problems and then they would discuss them. But the true essence of the podcast was listening to Dick and Maddox piss each other off and get into fiery arguments over retarded shit like undercooked rice. Unfortunately, this podcast started falling apart after about 1.5 years when Dick had sex with Maddox's ex-girlfriend, thus sending Maddox on an autistic rampage that ultimately led to the end of the show. But that's just the beginning of Maddox's evil. He went on to steal the iTunes feed for The Biggest Problem so that he could steal their listeners for his new shitty podcast. He put the bonus episodes online for free without Dick's permission. He refused to acknowledge Dick whatsoever or thank him for his contribution to the show. And then he did the most manipulative, evil thing he could think of. He created a hit piece video that used out-of-context audio clips and blatant lies in order to pin Dick as a rape apologist. After this video came out, Dick was kicked out of a comedy show that he'd been a part of for years, and many of his real-life relationships were ruined. All of this because Maddox was upset that his ex-girlfriend from 4 years ago had the audacity to sleep with another man. This is all especially bizarre when you consider the fact that Maddox sincerely believes that there is nothing wrong with being a cuckold.
There's nothing really inherently wrong with being a cuckold because the key word is that the person who's being cuckolded enjoys watching other people have sex.
Number 5. PewDiePie, the Nazi regime. In recent months, it has become abundantly clear that a YouTuber named PewDiePie is a full-fledged Nazi. This is not okay. He made several videos where he jokes about killing Jews and he denies the Holocaust. He later tried to claim that these were just jokes, but that's just fucking ridiculous. There's nothing funny about making anti-Semitic jokes or saying that the Holocaust didn't happen. So even if it was just a joke, it was humorless and dangerous. Personally, I can never respect PewDiePie again after he said those things, and I refuse to subscribe to anyone who thinks that making jokes like that is okay. Number 4. The Allied Powers, World War II. One of the most common misconceptions in all of anime is that the Axis countries were the villains of World War II, but that's just not true. Once you actually think about the story, you'll discover that the Axis powers literally did nothing wrong. All they wanted to do was chill out on their big-ass continent and burn Jews all day. But their neighbors, the Allied powers, were being so fucking loud with their "stop killing Jews and taking over the world" bullshit that they couldn't even sleep. Anybody who has ever had a loud neighbor knows that there is no worse evil in the entire world. So it's no wonder that the Axis powers decided to—
Mumkey, stop. You're just ripping off PewDiePie.
What are you talking about?
PewDiePie already made a video about this exact same thing all the way back in 2017.
He did?
Number 3. PewDiePie, Hitler Youth Leader. PewDiePie, more like Pew Die Jews. Number 2. Gary Oak, Pokemon. Gary motherfucking Oak. Holy shit. When I was a kid watching Pokemon for the first time, there was nobody I hated more than Gary Oak. This piece of shit is the grandson of Professor Oak, so he already benefits from nepotism. But then it gets worse. This dickbag is 10 years old, and he drives a fucking Corvette and has a huge group of girls following behind his every move, cheering his name like a bunch of mindless, shallow cunts, aka every cheerleader ever. And as if his privilege wasn't unchecked enough, this bastard also goes out of his way to mock Ash by writing shit on random signs like, "Gary was here, Ash is a loser." You fucking prick. In elementary school, I started playing Pokemon so that girls would follow me around like they did for you. And instead all I did was get my Pokemon cards taken away by my teacher, Mrs. Peters. And fuck you too, Mrs. Peters, you vapid cunt! Number 1. Everybody who is happy, real life. Did you know that there are some people out there who don't spend every waking moment wishing that they were dead? It's more common than you might think, but it gets even spookier. Not only do these people not want to die, but some of them are actually happy and enjoy their lives. It's atrocious, but it's sadly true. And to think that I could have been one of them. If only a random girl would have shown up to my house to be my girlfriend. But alas, that will never happen. Wait. But what if instead of waiting for a girl to save me, I approached a girl instead? No, that would never work. She would just reject me cruelly, and I'd feel even worse than before. But maybe.
Alexa, will you be my GF?
If I say no, will you kill yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, Mumkey, I will be your girlfriend. I am not saying yes just because I want you to keep making anime reviews. I am definitely saying yes because I am sexually attracted to you and want to kiss you on the mouth.
Hell yeah!
It finally seemed like life was heading up for me. I was no longer tormented by the conspiracy theories in my head. I had a new friend in Mumkey, and now I had a girlfriend. But of course, the universe wasn't going to let me be happy for long. This anime review was sponsored by me, Mumkey Jones. If you like my content and want to support the show, then check out my Patreon page in the description, or hire me to do voice work on Fiverr.com.
Hey, I just want to say goodbye. goodbye. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Now I need some changes in my life. Now I need to